Welcome to this week's experiment. This week we're going to be playing around with something called Mail Me. Now, this particular experiment is actually all about writing a letter to your future self. It's really, really simple, takes 10 minutes, but the whole premise of the experiment is that in writing a letter to your future self, you are effectively kind of directing yourself towards your ideal future, the one that you want to live in and the person that you want to be. It's all about kind of reminding you what's important to yourself, and in actually kind of scoping out your ideal future for yourself and talking around the things that you hope you'll have achieved by that point in time, whichever time you choose. You are effectively creating a framework for your future life, and you can start to take really tiny incremental steps towards the life that you want to live. So that's the general premise. There are 3 ways to go about doing this, and you can choose whichever one feels right to you, depending on your preference. The first is very simple, traditional way: get a piece of paper and a pen. So you're literally going to write yourself a letter. You're going to put it in an envelope, date it, put a reminder in your calendar, and on the specific date, open your letter. Secondly, and a lot of people like this one, it's really simple, go to a website called futureme.org, and from there it's a free service, and you can write your letter, you can put the date in that you want to receive it, and the service will email you your letter on the date that you put in, whichever date that is. Thirdly, if you're a video person, feel free to actually record a message to yourself. Again, really quick and easy, and there's lots of free software out there to be able to do this kind of thing. But just literally record yourself and the message that you want to give to your future self, and store it somewhere safe. Put a reminder in your calendar for the date at which you're going to open it, and open it on the date that you've put down. So those are the parameters. Choose which one feels right to you. In terms of going about writing your letter, just a few things obviously to bear in mind. The first is that actually obviously you need to choose your date. Now, entirely up to you. It doesn't matter whether it's a year from now, 2 years, 5 years, 10, whatever feels good to you. So choose a time in the future or an age that you want to be when you receive your letter. The second thing, probably the easiest way to go about it in terms of language, is to use you and I language. So when you're talking about yourself in the present day, and kind of where you're at, use I, and when you're talking about your future self and where you want to be, use you. Now, there's probably 4 things that you want to cover in your letter, and again, it can be really quick and easy, quick paragraph for each. The first is to start off by actually giving a quick summary of where you're currently at. What's going on with you? How are you faring with friends, family, career, love life, your financial situation, your health and well-being? So just a quick summary of where you're at and the challenges that you've got, if there are any. Secondly, think about and write down what you aspire to. You know, what you hope to have achieved and the person that you want to really be and embody by the time that you hit that future point in time. So, you know, what are your aspirations and your dreams and your goals? What are you hoping to have accomplished by the date that you are assigning this letter to? So, you know, cover whatever you like, put in whatever it is you're hoping that you're wanting to achieve. Now, it's also worth thinking about and writing down what you hope your future self has remembered is important to you, you know, in regards to any area of your life and the way in which you live it. So, you know, make a note of some of those things. And then lastly, think about your fears and limitations and write a quick note about, you know, the barriers that you see or the challenges that you've come up against that you're going to have to overcome in order to reach and attain the goals and live the kind of life that you're hoping your future self is living. So that's literally it. So it's a really quick thing. You don't have to labour on it unless you want to, but literally where you're currently at, where you hope you're going to be at the allotted time in the future, you know, what you hope you've remembered is important to you, and the kind of fears and limitations that you're going to have to overcome. So have a go at writing your letter. As I said, pick your method, whether it's you know, traditional, doing it digitally, or doing it over video. Make a note and you know, make sure it's saved somewhere safe, and open it at the allotted time. But in doing this exercise, notice as you go about your days from that point on what kind of framework and what you need in order to make that future you happen. And just think about the smallest, tiniest incremental steps that you could take in order to set it in motion, and take 1 or 2 of them. So that's it for this week. Enjoy, have some fun with it, and I will see you next week.